In this video, I'm going to be explaining why typical strength workouts don't really work for decreasing pain and improving your hips if you're suffering from hip impingement, femoral acetabular impingement, also known as FAI, and labral tears. So we all kind of know what a workout is. So typically it's 30 minutes to an hour of a bunch of different exercises all bunched up into that hour. And then you spend the rest of your day, the next 23 hours, not really moving, not really doing much. That's where the problem lies. That's the base of the problem here. When you are doing a general strength workout, you really are looking at absolute strength. You're not really looking at what your body can do and how each muscle can handle loads. You're really looking more at the movement. Am I able to get this weight off the ground? Am I able to move this resistance band? It's very load dependent. And we know that one of the issues with FAI, hip impingement, labral tears, whatever you want to call it, is the hip's not moving properly. What we really need is a more specific strength in the hip muscles and the lumbopelvic complex. And when you're doing a traditional strength workout, you're not really training that specific strength. And that's where the other problem comes in. When we are training in a strength workout to either improve strength, improve hypertrophy, just train our body to get some improvement that isn't improving how we move, we train it for an hour, we fatigue it, high intensity, high volume, and then we're advised to rest for a few days. Now this is fine if your goal is to get bigger muscles and get stronger or reach a certain, other physical goal in fitness that this works well for. However, when you're trying to teach the body how to move better and healthier and just increase the overall health and fitness of your body, kind of the way it was designed, this isn't ideal. What we really want when we are trying to make the body work like the body was designed to work is frequent movement throughout the day, training specific movements, ranges, muscles that are known to be dysfunctional in people with these hip issues, hip impingement, FAI, and labral tears. And you can't expect to work on this for an hour a day and then sit or not really move much or just do general exercise like walking or cycling and expect this to cause a long-term change in your body and in your hips for the better. What actually works when you're trying to get out of pain from hip impingement and labral tears is multiple sessions, at least 3 sessions throughout the day where you are reminding your body how to move. The more frequent that input, the more your body will adapt. Your body adapts to what it does consistently. So at least 3 sessions a day, low volume, you recover a lot quicker so you can actually perform these movements, perform the therapeutic exercises, whatever you're doing to rehab your hips more frequently, thus getting more input and more frequent input. And so both your tissues and your brain adapt to the changes you're trying to make. Ultimately, you have more opportunities for your brain to learn how your hips should be working and for your tissues to experience the loads they need to adapt to. And ultimately, when you do this, you are not getting as fatigued, you are not getting as tired, you don't need several days of recovery, and you can focus on actually controlling the movement, doing the movement properly, and avoiding irritation, because that is one thing that people with this condition experience is they try to do something, they try to push too far, they irritate their hips, they irritate the labrum, whatever the tissue that is inflamed or irritated is, that increases their pain. They're now able to do less and they have to wait until that irritation and inflammation goes down before they can do more stuff. And as a doctor of physical therapy, this is obvious to me, but it wasn't always obvious to me. And you may be thinking to yourself now, wow, this is obvious. How did I not see this before? This is how we were brought up. This is how we were told to train. We were told to do X amount of days a week for X amount of hours and get X amount of rest. Look at any other wild animal, especially mammals. This is how the body was made to move. Frequently, comfortably, and efficiently. When you look at most wild animals, especially mammals, what are they doing during the day? They move a lot every day. So their body and their movement stays healthy. They don't go through this phase of prolonged sitting in school, maybe 30 minutes of recess or some sport outside of school, and then back home onto the couch. They move every day, frequently throughout the day. You know what else they do? They rest a lot throughout their day. How many times have you seen a squirrel or some other wild mammal just sitting there watching, just resting, just chilling out? That's what we were designed to do. We were designed to move frequently and rest frequently throughout the day. These creatures, these animals, these mammals, of which humans should be a part of, they do the same stuff every single day. They don't train their legs one day, rest their legs while they train their arms the next day, and then repeat that process for weeks for the rest of their life. And what is the incidence of musculoskeletal pain in these mammals? Well, we can't really know that because they can't really report it, but you show me a squirrel that has not been attacked or like acutely injured who is experiencing chronic pain. I can assure you, you can't find one. But honestly, I don't know, because pain is personal. So what are the main ideas here? Strength workouts, where you train for an hour, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, and then rest, they're not bad. They're for specific goals. They are not great when you're trying to rehab your hips and make your hips move like a human hip should. Personally, I put most of my strength work that isn't relative to my hips into 30 or 45 minutes a day. This works for me, and I make sure that frequently, again, at least 3 times a day, I'm doing something to improve the health of my hips so that I don't fall backwards and get more pain in my hips due to hip impingement or labral tears. The solution seems simple, right? We need to move more, but since we already have these compensations, we've already developed these issues in the hips, we need a plan. And that's exactly what I put together with Pain to Perform, FAI, and Labral Tears. I wanted to make sure people would have a plan. This is exactly what you're gonna do, and you're gonna do it at least 3 times a day. And it's only gonna take you 10 minutes at a time, maybe a little more, a little less, depending on what you need. And the techniques we're gonna do are specific to those deficits that we, as people who suffer from hip impingement and FAI and labral tears, experience and are common. So we take those tools, those therapeutic exercises and techniques to help improve the condition that we suffer with, and we do them frequently throughout the day so we make the hips move like the human hip should. After that, we can move more and often and with less pain. So if this sounds like you, if this sounds like something that you feel like has been missing, is some type of plan to incorporate into your life so that you can take your painful, irritated hips and finally heal them, check out paintoperform.com. I even have free resources, one of which is a free course with 5 free videos with soft tissue mobilization, soft tissue release techniques that are best for people suffering from hip impingement and FAI. Doing those several times a day can help manage your pain. It's no replacement for a thorough, planned therapeutic exercise program, but it'll get you a start. So check out paintoperform.com. All the links to everything will be in the description below. And thanks for watching.